here, Hank. Yes, good boy. I'm gonna get a little drink out of my fountain. Okay, so now we're just gonna do a quick recap of all the behaviors that Hank has learned. So he's learned a few different position changes. Sit is number one. Wow, they have something to prove. So I like practicing the dog's behaviors in more distracting environments. So even just being out on the porch, obviously you could see that big loud car going by. Sit. And Hank was unfazed by it. Okay, the next position change that Hank learned was is a down. Oh yes, the flowers are distracting. I like to bite those. Hank. Sit. Down. Good boy. And the last position change he learned was a stand. Stand. Good boy. We're going to do sit. Down. Uh-oh. Oh, you missed one. Hang on. You can get it. Hank, sit. Good boy. Down. Nice. There it is. Stand. Good. Great. Good job, buddy. Okay. He also learned to do a hand target. Hank, touch. So he's bopping his nose onto my hand or targeting his nose onto my hand. Hank, touch. You do one more. Touch. Nice job, buddy. We've also done a few repetitions of the first steps in a leave it. This one I would say he probably still needs a little bit more practice with. Hank, leave it. He wants to come climb in my lap. I know, because you're just so sweet. Okay, try this one again. Leave it. So I'm going to click as soon as he stops trying to get the food from my hand. I know, you want to drink out of that fountain. You got a bowl of water in the house. Leave it. Good boy. Let's do one more repetition of the leave it. I'm going to show him that I have the food in my hand, close my fist around it, and then I'm going to tell him leave it. And as soon as his nose backs away from my hand, that's when I'm clicking the clicker and feeding him on the ground. Hank. Leave it. Good boy. What a good boy. All right, and then finally our map behavior. I did start to generalize this one. Come here, buddy. Hank's gonna get a drink of water from the house. Then we'll come back out. Okay, now we try our mat. So I'll go through all the steps. step one is I'm just going to put the mat down on the ground. Puppy comes over to it. I click the clicker. And I'm going to feed them a few pieces in a row for just being on the mat. Then I'm going to pick the mat up from underneath the puppy and move it to a new location. I'm going to see that they'll follow it. When they come over to again, I repeat. Step number 2 now is instead of moving the mat from underneath Hank, I'm going to move Hank. So I'm going to show him a cookie and I'm going to say, go get it, as I throw it away. Of course, the dog needs to see where that reset cookie goes. Hank, get it! Get it! As soon as he eats that cookie, I want to see that it'll come right back to the mat. And he does. So he gets 2 or 3 more cookies. This time I'm going to move on to step 3, so I'm going to give him my reset cookie. Oh, did you see that one? Here, get that one. Good boy. Hank, get it. And when he comes back to the mat, we're going to wait him out for a sit or a down. Good boy, Hank. I do want him to be a little bit more centered though, so I'm going to set that tree there. Good boy. Now in step 3, I'm going to start to move away from Hank, so that might just look like me turning my back to Hank initially. And then I'm going to start to take some steps away. So step 4 in this behavior would be to start applying it to real life situations. So I like to start to use the mat. If Hank was staying another week with me, I would probably start to use the mat when I did things like washing the dishes or maybe folding the laundry. Oops. So if Hank leaves the mat before I ask him to, I know I clicked, but he was leaving the mat, so I don't want to feed him for that. I want him to come back to the mat. I'm not going to feed him right away. I'm just going to try leaving him again. Oops. And that was still a little too hard. I probably just did too many repetitions before giving him that reset cookie. I'm just going to do an easy. I'm just going to turn away from him. Click and come back and feed him. There we go. Good boy. Hank is very smart, but he's still just a little baby. Go get it. Here it is. Get it. So I'd probably start using the mat while I was doing the dishes or folding laundry or something sort of simple that's not going to take me like an hour, but just a few minutes, where I periodically will reward Hank for holding his place on the mat. Okay, bud?